Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey.
Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, yai da 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 da, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam.
Shabbat Shalom, Cantor, Rabbi, and all of you who are watching us now on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever you might have found us. Well, if it's not one of those two things, I'm concerned. But nonetheless, we're glad you're with us. Hey, say hello to someone else who's a part of our services this Shabbat evening in our chat feature or on Facebook. Welcome them. Tell us about yourself. We're thrilled to be together. Always trying different services. You might notice the three of us are in different places at Temple. We wanted to be at Temple today, inside, outside, just connecting and finding ways. As always, you can follow the prayer book and download that on our YouTube link there from our website, and follow in our Fifth Direction prayer book on the Friday evening service. Of course, it's Kaya service, meditation, song, peacefulness, close your eyes. Let's give some thanks and appreciation for the blessings, even in the midst of the challenges around us, as we connect with one another and say hi to one another and greet each other. Shabbat Shalom. Begin our prayers with some more song as we prepare for some meditation. Say Shalom Rav, grant us peace, God, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace. We ask God for peace and the reality knowing how responsible we are as individuals for that and creating that for ourselves, in our own lives, in our minds, even in our world. Interesting, we open this week's Torah portion, Ve'et Chanan, and we find a number of things that we are familiar with. Two of our prayers that we say all the time, the Shema, the Ve'ahavta, are both in this Torah portion. But there's another part about how we are commanded to follow the mitzvot and what we need to do, and the challenges in doing that, and the responsibility in doing that, and connecting with God and doing that as well, and the things that might happen to us if we don't. But there's a remarkable perspective and teaching of the theology of our tradition within this Torah portion, because towards the end it says, the Lord will scatter you among the peoples, but if you search there for God, your God, you will find God. If only you seek God with all your heart and all your soul. If only you seek for God with your heart and soul. You know, we find ourselves in these challenging times, sometimes distressed and frustrated and filled with despair. But each week and maybe every day, I think part of our Shabbat worship is connecting with one another, and in doing, connecting with God. And reminding ourselves of that search. And the teaching of the Hasidic Rebbe Menachem Mendel of Kotsk, I think, fits in so well to this, because he said the very act of seeking God, the longing to find God, means you shall find God. And that, in and of itself, is enough. I love that reality. Just in the search, wherever it takes us, that in itself is enough. So let's take a moment to have that search. Take a deep breath. Maybe close your eyes. Breathe in God's gift to each and every one of us. And breathe out our breath to this world, our gift that we share. The search is difficult for all of us. There are no easy answers. But the connections we feel with one another and the sense of responsibility, maybe that is the blessing and the connection we know there's something beyond us in this world. I read an essay this week from Rabbi Abraham Heschel 57 years ago. And it was so poignant because it was so relevant and could be written right now. He said, daily, we should take account and ask, what have I done today to alleviate the anguish, to mitigate the evil, to prevent humiliation? Let there be a grain of profit in every man. Our concern must be expressed not symbolically, but literally, not publicly only, but also privately, not only occasionally, but regularly. What we need is the involvement of every one of us as individuals. What we need is restlessness and a constant awareness of what we see, recognize, and need to combat injustice. I find his teaching to be so powerful, and as we meditate on what our values, priorities, and connections to God are, so we're reminded of our connections to one another. So does this time of Shabbat, as we welcome Shabbat, help us reorient ourselves, remind ourselves of those values, and connect us to something greater in our world, and connect us always to that sense of responsibility. So as we breathe in deeply, as we sing these prayers, let's be reminded of our connections, and through that, to our responsibility, as we begin together now with our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Adonai Echad. ובכל מרדך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושילמתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, ושייפתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Preparation for our next prayer for the words of the Hashkivenu, we take a moment first to look within. I invite you to close your eyes and to focus on your breathing. Breathe in, slowly inhaling through your nose, and breathe out, exhaling through your mouth. Continue to focus on your breathing, something that we do thousands of times each day without noticing, without paying attention to it. Breathe in, breathing in God's gift to us, and breathe out, sharing your gift with the world. The words of the Hashkivenu, in them we ask that as we go to sleep tonight, that God watch over us, protect us, shield us, and that tomorrow morning when we wake up to life renewed, we could wake up refreshed, renewed, ready to go about our day. There's a line in it where we say, V'chaser satan milefanecha umeacharenu. To keep temptation, the Satan, the temptation away from us, to remove it from before us, and to remove it from behind us. Picture in your mind, what are those temptations for you? What are sometimes those roadblocks, those hurdles, those things that get in your way in your relationships, in your work, in your life, V'chaser satan milefanenu umeacharenu. We ask in this prayer that God remove those temptations from us. That this week, this Shabbat, tomorrow, that we can go about our lives ready to fulfill the mission that each one of us has. That unique, special mission. As you think of that, what is yours? What's your purpose? What drives you? What is that dream of that perfect way for you to act? Not the ones where you get frustrated or that you run out of time and so you respond in a different way, but the way that you would act if you could do anything that you wanted. Act in any way. V'chaser satan milefanenu u'me'acharenu. As we join together in this prayer and these words, may that be our destiny tonight. May God protect us, shelter us, and give us the ability to remove that temptation.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidinu Malkeinu L'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom V'hamidinu Malkeinu L'chaim. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha L'chaim Shalom Me'ata v'ad olam Me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'hamidinu Malkeinu L'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'hamidinu Malkeinu L'chaim.
And in preparation for the Amidah, we rise together and take a moment for our own private meditations, following the words in our hearts, having our own opportunity to have that private conversation with God and ourselves. Please pray silently.
Thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering the song in the silence of the night. And eternity honors the day. Eternity honors the day. Thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song on the wind and joy in the tree. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering the song in the silence of the night. And eternity honors a day. And eternity honors a day. Adonai, Sfatai Tiftach, Ofi Yagitahi Latecha. One more time. Adonai, Sfatai Tiftach, Ofi Yagitahi Latecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Leah v'Elohei Rachel האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ויהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
In addition to our own private prayers, do we as a community take a moment to think of friends and family who are in need of healing, to join together in our communal prayers of Mishaberach. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, ve'imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah v'Rachel, hu yivarech et acholim. Merciful God, who blessed our ancestors, send your blessings to our loved ones who are stricken with illness or anxiety. To Eugene Blakeman, Joel Bussell, Pat Carey, Karen Kasman, Patty Seresny, Bill Cooperstock, Lisa Dorff, Ezra Chaim Ben Devora, Miriam Farber, Gary Fishman, Adele Gaba Band, Howard Goldberg, Paul Goldberg, Dr. Barbara Goldman, Sylvia Goldman, Batya Batbeshia Panina, Charles Gross, Andrew Halo, Crystal Halo, Hank Heiser, Vera Hopkins Gordon, Rebecca Horn, Sarah Jacobson, Victor Kislak, Serafina Coffrin, Rick Kornspan, Yvonne Krasny, Marta Lazar, Henry Leopold, Nina Livieva, Zoe Marcus, Beth Margolin, Scott Miles, Rabbi Robert Nosenchuk, Eric Perez, Leslie Pillings, Miriam Leah Batdanel Esther, Jean Richmond, Alan Rosen, the Saint Amand family, Erna Schoen, Amy Selmanoff, Suzanne Zalesnik-Smith, Fran Sunny, Chaim Shmuel Ben Noach, Kochav Ben Noach, Sherry Weiner, Naomi White, all those battling coronavirus, both at home and in hospitals, the 20,095 American troops who have been injured in Iraq and Afghanistan to date, and all the names in our hearts. May God grant them a refuah shlema, a complete healing of mind, of body, and of spirit.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the songs of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberas imotenu mekor habracha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Beyond our prayers of healing, we also take a moment in these challenging times to ask God to pray for those who are helping others heal. Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, bless all those who put themselves at risk to care for the sick. Bless those who continue to go above and beyond, everyone who puts the needs of others above their own. And bless those who navigate the unfolding dangers of the world each day, tending to those they have sworn to help. Bless them in their coming home, and bless them in their going out. Ease their fear, sustain them. Source of all breath, healer of all beings, protect them and restore their hope. Strengthen them that they may bring strength. Keep them in health that they may bring health. Help them know again a time when they can create breath without fear. Bless the sacred work of their hands, and may this plague pass from among us speedily in our days. And together we join in our concluding prayers, our prayers of adoration with the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
The Kaddish may be understood as a praise for the gift of life, love, and thought. It is a reminder of all that came before us. It is a testament to the psalmists and sages, the poets and prophets of our people, who made our life and our faith possible. It is a celebration of our past, our present, and our future. Though it never mentions death, it is a reminder of all the friendships that we have cherished and the memories we have shared. Even in the most painful times, the Kaddish is our statement of faith. And so this Shabbat, we think of those friends and family who have been taken from us in these most recent days, whose Shiva and Shloshim and Shana we mark. Representative John Lewis, Florence Mars, Jerry Brown, Richard Menser, Esther Bogorad, Ronald Soloway, Mitzi Arena, Paul Fulton, Asya Cherniak, Adeline Meisner, Beatrice Howard, Cynthia Jean Watson, Thomas Klein, Fanny Zuckerman, Nina Cutler, Laura Roth, Susan Averbuck, and the 2,420 American forces lost in Afghanistan and the surrounding areas to date. And to their names we add those whose yard sites we mark, those of whose anniversary of passing we lovingly commemorate. William Alexander, Jerry Altschul, Dr. Stuart Bass, Betty Bloom, Harry Backoff, Rita Bronstein, Saul Brown, Allie Nicolette Brugger, Florence Cohen, Bessie Cohen Gilman, Ava Eisenberg, Richard Elkanen, Benson Ford Sr., Babs Arlene Geller, Rochelle Goldman, Shirley Goldman, Chava Graham, Hermine Gruber, Gail Henson, Merle Hoffman, Alan Jacobs, Rose Jacobs, Eli Katz, Francis Noble Klein, Herman Coltano, Ben Constantine, Ruth Lefkowitz, Bertha Lowy, David Lurie, Alan Michaels, Adela Merkin, William John Nemeth Sr., Randy Neisnick, Dr. Robert Ostroff, Hyman Pudovic, Sherry Robbins, Cantor Norman Rose, Dr. Herbert Rosenthal, Joel Schulman, Max Schwartz, Bertha Shook, Dr. Jean Sinkoff Goldstein, Dorothy Sokoloff, Mort Stockler, Evelyn Weinstein, Morris Weiss, Stanley Wygotsky, Ben Yellen, Rosalind Zuckerman, Mark Zupke, along with all the names in our hearts and those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, that we join together as one family, as one community in the immortal words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach chirtei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Omei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Kedusha B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Huya say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn. Comfort to all the bereaved among us here and everywhere. As together we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, everybody.
Good Shabbos. I didn't want to miss all the fun.
It's like we're all over the place. I know that some people are in Yellowstone. Some people are in up north in a place called Port Austin. Looks like Rabbi a moment ago was in Jerusalem with his background.
Oh, back to Jerusalem. Back to Jerusalem.
Back to Jerusalem. There we go. The old city. Perfect place to be. And Shabbat Shalom to everybody. It's wonderful to be able to join together for Shabbat services, to be able to be together. In a moment, we'll have a moment of Tish. And so if you have any questions for Tish, please feel free to start posting those on the YouTube chat. And Audrey, who's helping us behind the scenes, thanks, Audrey, will be able to get those over to us so we can answer some of those Tish questions as well. As we're doing that, a few announcements. Rabbi, you want to share anything?
Well, it's always good to be together, and we're continuing, even with bar mitzvahs happening now, we're still going to do our 6:30 services like this. So for all of you who've been tuning in each week, we really appreciate that. And so it's a nice intimate time for us to be together, even with the fact that we've grown. I want to say a shout out to Scott Mazius, because I know how much he's enjoying services. So I'm watching you, Scott, as well. So just so you know that. And thanks for supporting Temple. It's all of your generosity. So with that in mind, great things happening, of course, tomorrow morning, 10:30 services, Tish at 9:15. Send us a text if you want to be a part of that so we can Zoom you in. Tomorrow night, Havdalah with the three of us at 7:30. And our classes continue. Monday morning musings. I have a very special guest this Monday. I'll tell you about it on Sunday. Watch my Facebook for that announcement. And then Tuesday, back to Jerusalem. Back to Israel. What are we doing in Israel touring with Benny and Rabbi Daniel? Where are we going this week?
Right behind you, we're actually going back to the old city of Jerusalem, and we're going to be seeing and visiting the Christian quarter. So we'll do the Via Dolorosa, which is the steps that for Christians Jesus took on the way to his death and eventual resurrection for Christians. And so it should be an interesting tour, fascinating, always exciting to be in Jerusalem and to learn. And what I've realized when we take our high school students on some of the teen mission trips to be able to do this is that it's always great in terms of what we learn about ourselves and our own practices, because it raises a lot of questions and is really a fascinating tour and conversation that we're able to have. So even if you're not signed up and you haven't been a part of it yet, you can sign on and jump onto the tour at any time. We have flights departing every Tuesday at noon.
Hopefully we'll have some real flights going out this spring as well with our adult trip to Israel, March 15th to the 25th, God willing. But of course, all this is dependent on our world as we're hopeful and also being very safe and making sure that all of us are making good decisions. And why we're doing services like this right now, continuing, so that we can still find ways to connect with one another and still find ways to make Shabbat holy and beautiful for us as a community. We appreciate all your feedback and your support throughout this as well. Someone asked why we're not in our drive-in services, and we want to try different things. We want to connect in different ways, and we've gotten a really great response from our Zoom services. And we also want to make sure technology is working to our advantage and that we're connecting as good as possible with all of you. And so this seems to work a little better right now for us, and so it's a way to do it as well. But, we're trying our best, and give us feedback. We always appreciate that as well.
That was the only Tish question I think that was up there. And so we take a moment to welcome formally Shabbat as we light our Shabbat candles together. And if you have them at home, feel free to do it. And then we'll join with Cantor, or you can join us here as we light ours in the window.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
We raise our cup of juice or wine and thank God for the sweetness of Shabbat in moments like this, where we can join together as a community, even though we're physically distant from one another, but together in spirit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
ask God to bless all of us with our concluding benediction.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you, and may God protect you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May God shine upon you, and may God shine through you.
יישא אדוני עיניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May God lift you up, giving you the strength to always be you. And most of all, may all of us, here and everywhere, be blessed with peace.
וישם לך שלום. Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos. Shabbat